And guys, if you haven't actually seen the other groups prior to what has actually been going on here, the people who have actually advanced thus far are people like Liquid Hero, TSL Symbol, ST Life, Creator, Scarlet, Gosu User, MMA, Violet, and Nest T. All of these names have just... there's so much wealth of talent in there. The round of 16 is just going to be so phenomenal. It
will be just as absurd as the round of 32.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, and of course, if you missed any of the previous games, some of them are uploaded over on day9.tv. I have the listings for the groups that I've casted with Kelaris there and the links there. Of course, you can go to IronSquid.tv to get more VODs as well. So yeah. Definitely watch all the games because all the games have been freaking amazing. And in fact, James, I want to ask you before this final match, do you have a favorite series that you've seen thus far of any of what we've casted?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think I have a firm favorite, actually. It's kind of hard for me to interpret, so I can't pick. I honestly can't pick. We had, I was actually watching... And I enjoyed Life series in the other ones that I haven't cast.
Yeah,
personally.
you know, Creator Cost was really sick. Actually, I didn't cast that either, but that was great. I really loved Creator Cost quite a lot.
Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to be jumping in just a second here. Oh, we are already in the game. Great stuff. Okay, let's get these intros done. As up to the top left-hand corner here, as our yellow Terran, he goes by the name of MarineKingPrime.
And down in the bottom right, his favorite color is teal. It is No Teens Brown.
Mr. Brown, what are you going to pull out of your hat? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some 4-gate aggression in this series somewhere. He's really been favoring that. So that's certainly something I'm looking out for. It could actually occur on this map. Actually, this isn't too bad a map for it as long as your opponent's kind of caught a little bit off guard. Sometimes it can be easy to make a very nice tight choke at your natural ramp with supply depots as well as bunkers. But, you know, you can see 4-gate aggression work very nicely on this after expansion.
Yeah, I really genuinely think that this is a very excellent map for the 4-gate opening. It's really safe and can I just take a moment to laud this gateway placement from Brown? This is exactly where all the vital structures should be placed, neatly tucked right back there. You look at this top ridge where it's very droppable. You want to have pylons and you want to have space to warp in and maneuverability and that sort of thing. But it's very easy to fall into that trap and just default building right up top. And MKP! Oh my God! I bet you he's going to go for a 2 frickin' racks frickin' play right here, my friend.
Ooh, and that is pretty brutal for the Protoss to deal with, especially if they're not able to scout it out. So Brown, though, did show tendencies of actually going for Robo before even expansion. So that, in turn, could actually help him out against something like that. If he scouts, well, he has scouted out the wall. So I won't be surprised if Brown plays cautiously here.
Yeah, I mean, Brown... We already saw built that Robo in the main last game, and that just went excellently. Hey, what do you know, second assimilator. Sometimes you'll see players like Squirtle go for the 2 in each gas before expand, and you know that's all fine and well and good and that sort of thing. But I'm really more expecting Brown to do a 1-basing type play.
Yeah, that could keep him well in contention here. Second gas is on the way, so. With that, and the second barracks on the way as well for MKP. You called it. You're right on the money there, Sean. As, well, it can hit furiously, and MKP has made it work time and time again. It's crazy stuff.
Money! Woo! Going straight on to the double racks play. And the thing to note is that MKP is one of the few Terrans alive who does this consistently and makes it work consistently. Once upon a time, it was known as kind of a gimmick play. You know, maybe you catch your opponent off guard a little bit with it, but again, I want to emphasize MarineKingPrime. He's going to be moving out at around 5:45 with 5 Marines and a Marauder, and he will have started the combat shield upgrade, and it's quite potent and tough to deal with. So there goes down the Prober, and you got to be knowing what's up as Brown.
Yeah, you've got to be. It's right now, and he's doing a good job as well. He's getting that robo facility, he's getting the extra gateways behind it, so he's playing that more cautious game, even getting an abundance of sentries here to deal with this.
Now this is brilliant. Look at this. He's getting stim, and ordinarily I would say, oh my derp, this is so bad. Because, I mean, if you go for something like this, then your normal push that strikes at 545 is incredibly weak. You just have downed 100 into something that won't be done soon.
Yeah.
However, by rushing for this factory and then following it up by rushing for a starport, MKP is going to end up with that annoying Marine Marauder timing attack, striking at like 7.5 minutes rather than striking at, okay, he's not going to go for medevacs. He's going frickin' tanks, man. You have no idea what's going on, James. He's awesome.
Well, I mean, it's interesting how all this 1-1-1. I mean, it's almost exclusively 1-1-1 on this map for Terrans nowadays. I see it just so much, and they feel far more comfortable going for it on this map than any other. Understandable, the architecture's good for it, but, you know, Protoss, he's already getting out his Immortals, and, this is going to be weird.
I have mad respect for Brown in this spot. You know, it's so common to fall into that trap of, you know, I have to do what is, quote, standard. I have to do what is the norm. And if I'm one gate expanding and losing on Ohana to 1-1-1s, then damn it, I better just keep practicing and training against that build until I figure it out with my Super Gosu Micro. Or you can be like a Brown and say, no, I'm just going to go for a really fast robo. It holds everything off a lot easier, and if he expands, then I'll attack him back. You know, it's that comfort in your own Protoss skin.
And he's actually moving out into the middle of the map here. He's going to get good eyes on this. And whoa, is he just going to stay here? Run away. Okay.
There's the stem. It's going to have to be another round of force fields if he wants to stay alive. And oh no, he's going to lose the Immortal. Oh, MarineKingPrime.
That was
looking
nice
good so far.
And look at this, behind this, Brown is doing exactly what he was doing before. He's like, just going to warp in some Zealots, so you're high ground. I'm just going to try and go for that, try and stifle this, but losing that Immortal was huge here. Brown needs to somehow delay with these force fields for so long while these Zealots do the work in the main.
I mean, this attack is coming very, very early. And let's see how MarineKingPrime answers. He's rushing up the front. The Immortal decimates the tank, and MarineKingPrime is just getting rocked here. Again, in small numbers, it pretty much goes just like it does for Roach Ling.
Oh, he needs to pull back, though. He might have overextended just a little bit there. He doesn't have that many he doesn't have any force fields here. That Immortal might get picked off, but no, he strays into fire of another Immortal. Brown, and he's shut all of the mining down at MKP's base. Brown just has 1-1-1 on lockdown.
I mean, it's such a clean way to play. I mean, I'm going to have huge units. I'm going to have the counterattack out. My economy's not going to be amazing, but who needs a good economy when your opponent does not have an economy? So here is MKP doing some fantastic micro with like 4 units, but that is the majority of MKP's army. And now Marine King's going to have to decide how does he proceed.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for him to do just in general. I mean, now that Brown sits around his opponent's base, then I guess, yes, he has medevacs to shuttle things down, but there's going to be that soft contain from Brown that is really quite pesky here. Although, you know, Siege Tech does negate that a little bit as well, so, yeah.
Such strong play. And there we have the Immortals darting up, two-shotting the tank. Medevacs almost end up dying, but I mean, Brown in just amazing shape. Just incredible. This is brilliant. This is very Naniwa-esque even. This large sentry Immortal pressure at the start.
Yeah, and there's not really anything that MKP can do about this. He lost his medevacs, he's lost all of his tanks, bar one, and even the Immortal's just straying up now, getting some shots off on that. Barracks alone limits the amount of Marines his opponent can have. The Barracks, in essence, if Brown wants to stick around, it has to move away and then create another add-on if he wants that kind of production.
Wow. Wow now, Brown Cow. Look at how well Brown is playing. Taking MarineKingPrime on the trip to Frowntown.
Yeah. It's Frown Town,
At this
man.
point in time, I mean, MKP is just going to be unable to put on pressure at all. He must pull back and defend. And in honesty, I'm thinking back to the start when I was like, oh my god, he's going to be going for this great Marine medevac push. Brown can honestly respond to that Marine medevac push in the same way he responded to the Marine tank push. He can just do these counter warp-ins, and if you're one-basing Terran, you cannot deal with even the smallest of counterattacks because so much of your force has to be committed to the front lines.
Yeah, this is... I mean, he's 30 supply down right now. He's 12 probes down with Colossi on the way.
Ugh.
That's a horrible situation to be in. I mean, if Immortals weren't enough to be annoying against siege tanks, these Colossus are just going to decimate these Marine counts. How do you even begin to recuperate your losses here as MKP?
Well, I would surmise that you do not. That is très difficile. And now we see that the Colossus coming out with range. This is bad news bears in every possible way. We see Marine King, I think, is doing something that is uncharacteristic of Terran, but is going to pan out very, very nicely. He's going Marine Tank. He must go Marine Tank because he's been battered down so much he can't afford to do something like build a whole bunch of barracks. But this is actually going to be an ideal composition against Marine King because Marine King actually does not have a tremendous amount of gateway units. He has mainly robo units, so as long as he can keep those tanks protected back, he will lose considerable Marine numbers to the Colossus, but he can pick off the Colossus much easier than he can than with Vikings.
That's true. That is true. As for now, yeah, you're right. He doesn't really have too much to tank for those big chunky units in the form of Zealots, etc. But still is very, very far ahead in terms of supply with 10 Zealots, 4 Immortals, and 2 Colossi. This composition is just out of hand here. MarineKingPrime is going to have a hard time defeating this when Brown pushes. But he's going to gear up for it. He's going to use the offensive factory maybe to try and plant himself down a little bit.
Oh no, he's going to get force fielded. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. He almost missed it.
The Colossus now have that thermal lance, so he's going to continue to poke away. He's actually just going to go for it straight away. One of the Immortals leading the charge, queuing up the attacks on those siege tanks, and with the Marines in the back.
Immortals. Oh, he doesn't end up targeting the Immortals at all with the Marines, and the tanks being too close to the low ground. MKP gets shoved into the worst position extremely quickly. And there goes the army for MarineKingPrime. Brown shut it down. Welcome to Frowntown, Mr. MKP.
Yeah, Frowntown. GG as for now. Wow. Brown taking a 1-0 lead in this series. Impressive.